We're driving through Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Cypress, California. We're heading to the final resting place of actor Glenn Quinn, best known as Mark Healy, Becky Connor's boyfriend on the 90s hit television program Roseanne. Glenn Quinn was born in Dublin, Ireland in 1970. At the age of 18, he, his mother, and sisters moved to the United States. He began his acting career in television commercials for Pepsi, Ray-Ban, and even appeared in a Richard Marx music video. He worked hard to lose his Irish accent to win more jobs. He worked in a factory, painted houses, and waited tables before being discovered. Television roles followed, with spots on Beverly Hills 90210 and Baghdad Cafe. In 1990, his big break came when he won the part of Mark Healy, Becky Connor's boyfriend, on the TV sitcom Roseanne. He was supposed to appear in only one episode in the third season, and he stayed for the entire duration of its run. Glenn Quinn was cast in a few motion pictures, his first Shout with John Travolta, sharing a kiss with Gwyneth Paltrow in her very first movie. He also appeared in the films Dr. Giggles, Campfire Tales, and RSVP. With that success, he was able to buy a beautiful house in the Hollywood Hills, a sleek car, and part ownership of a club called Goldfingers, a James Bond-themed bar in the center of Hollywood. Here's a matchbook from the bar Goldfingers that was partially owned by Glenn Quinn. He bought it with the profits with his money from Roseanne. And you can see the address is 6423 Yucca, where I got these matches, but I think it's hilarious. Check for future comb over. I don't know exactly what that means, but anyway, Goldfingers. Here it is. It's on Yucca Street, which used to be one of the worst streets in Los Angeles, and then it became not, and now it's questionable again. But this was Goldfingers, partially owned by Glenn Quinn. Now it's called the North End. It was called the Buddha, I think, Gold Buddha or something like that for a while. After Roseanne ended, he was cast as the half-demon Doyle in the TV program Angel, a spin-off from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. His 9th appearance on Angel would be his last on-screen appearance ever. A source close to Glenn said, he always had this dark, foreboding feeling that he was going to die young. Glenn did have a booze and alcohol problem, and according to sources, he was on a downward spiral. Glenn lost his house he bought with the Roseanne money. He was bought out of his nightclub venture because it was claimed he was hitting up customers for cash and getting into violent altercations. The last straw for Glenn was being kicked out of rehab for using drugs. This was only a few days before he died. This is Glenn Quinn's autopsy report, and you can see from the address 11115 Acoma Street. And his place where he died has been destroyed. I came back here shortly after he died and took pictures of it, and I'm glad I did, because this is what it's in its place now. So the apartment where Glenn Quinn died has now been replaced with this. On December 2nd, 2002, he was staying with a friend in North Hollywood. At around 10 p.m., his friend went to bed. He noticed Glenn was resting on the sofa. The next morning, his friend checked on Glenn and figured he was sleeping. He left the apartment to run some errands. When he returned around 11, he took a closer look and saw that Quinn hadn't moved. He checked and found him to be, quote, stiff and cold. He phoned emergency services immediately, but they were unable to revive him. He was dead at 32. So it was in this apartment there, number 8, that Glenn Quinn was found. 32-year-old male with a reported history of cocaine abuse and intravenous drug abuse, heroin, found unresponsive on a friend's couch, paraphernalia, and possible heroin present. No foul play. His official cause of death? Morphine intoxication, an accidental heroin overdose. His body was handled by the Liban Mortuary in Long Beach. Glenn's funeral was held at Forest Lawn. The funeral was swarmed by press. Sarah Gilbert and Johnny Galecki, Darlene and David from Roseanne, attended. In the meantime, Quinn's co-star, Michael Fishman, who played DJ on Roseanne, released a statement. I was a very close friend and former co-worker of Glenn and would like to ask your help in spreading the word about his memorial fund. As you may know, funerals are very expensive, and his family has been left with a considerable bill following Glenn's funeral. We, as his friends, have established a memorial fund in hopes of lightening the financial burden on his family. Please help us. Glenn's friends help his family by relaying this information to as many people as possible. Any donation would help. A few dollars from many people adds up quickly and would go a long way towards lifting the family's financial hardships. My friend Kimmy Zell sent a photograph of Glenn's original grave marker, which was quite simple, stating name, dates, and beloved son and brother. It's since been changed to a more elaborate marker. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the hollow of his hand. When the TV show Roseanne was rebooted in 2018, it was decided that Quinn's role of Mark would not be recast. It was revealed that the character was killed in a freak accident with a deer jumping out in front of his motorcycle. Michael Fishman said, "Glenn is missed by us daily. He remains part of the show and close to our hearts. Before each taping, we do cast introductions for the audience. We come out to meet the crowd. It's an exhilarating, immediate connection with fans. I brought in Glenn's picture. We pass it before every episode we film. We remember Glenn every day. He'll always be with us, part of the Roseanne show and family." Thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate it. I especially appreciate Christian Esser, John Wood, Phil Juniper, Tom Bergeron, Christian Esser, Christina N., Jolene Cladoris, and Ann Meyer. They're all sponsoring my page by the Patreon or PayPal link below, which you can do too. And I thank you very much for your time and for your attention. And until next time,